Now, Sean, next question, man, that I'd love to get into. And listen, I'm going to have to take a step back, okay? Because I keep pushing for it. I'm at the edge of my seat. I'm so engaged in everything that you're saying. And I have to remember to remind myself, Benji, this is not about you, okay? This is about Sean. It's about capturing the essence, not giving the heart away of the book. So I'm going to back up. Next question that I'd love to go into. Sean, what would you say was a highlight for you in writing this book? Or maybe highlight is the wrong word. What was something that surprised you that you weren't expecting or anticipating before you began on the journey?
That's a loaded question. After I wrote the first 3 books, I went out to publicize them. And I found for the subject matter that the books addressed, I found the best place to publicize them on the platform Quora, if you're familiar with that platform. Mm-hmm. And I started answering people's questions. That's what Quora is about. It's asking questions and getting people to answer them. Answer people's questions on spiritual topics, on philosophic topics. I pretty much stay away from engineering because there's a lot of expertise there, so I don't need to add my expertise to it. But I started to get this following on Quora, which surprised me. And that's actually where the joy came from in writing the books. And there were 2 specific people who I met on Quora, Marianne and Will. And Will's story is in the book. They were the ones who really inspired me to write this book. I had not really understood the impact that I could have on essentially people who aren't understood by anybody else. I seem to have this ability, to listen to somebody who everybody else would say is crazy, and try and understand them. And I mean, Marianne is the example I'll give you. When Marianne was a child, the teacher in her class told the other kids, "Don't play with her, she's a witch."
Wow.
Now, can you imagine growing up with that stigma on you?
Right, yeah, of course.
Just because you have a spiritual gift? It wasn't until she met me at I think she's in her 40s, that she said, "You are the first person in my life who's accepted me for who I am."
Wow.
Can you imagine the impact of that?
Absolutely. I mean, listen, it's so depressing to hear that would have happened, but amazing that you had walked into her life and was really able to offer that comfort.
And that's the joy that I've gotten out of it. And that was actually the impetus for me to write this book. Absolutely. It was the strength of Marianne and the strength of Will, who kind of pushed me to do it.
Right. Sean,
on the other side, let me
ahead.
finish, because the other side is where the surprise came. After I finished the book, I said, what am I going to do now? Because now I have all these people who are coming to me with questions and problems. I've got to find somebody to help them. And then I realized nobody can help them better than I can. Mm. So what's come out of this book is I've started a spiritual consulting gig. I'll call it a gig. It's not a job. Where I offer specific recommendations out of my book for people with specific problems. And that's given me the greatest joy.
Now, for clarification, Sean, the spiritual counseling that you're offering, is that available through the site? Are we able to gather more information through your personal site?
Yeah, that's on my website.
Wonderful.